had some great action this weekend from the Swift Sport Suzukis, and yesterday Rob Shield took his first final win of the year. The circuit was being run anti-clockwise yesterday. Today it's clockwise. Across the heats, Rob Shield has been the man to beat. Fastest in the first two. Mark Donnelly, though, being the quickest in Q3 and ever improving driver. We've got 10 of the Suzukis here this weekend, and yesterday they were full of drama. So semi-final one is about to get underway. Rob Shield, very much the man to beat at the moment, lines up on pole position, but he's got Mark Donnelly with him at the front. So the two drivers that have split the qualifying fastest times between them line up at the front of the grid here. It is blast off as the lights go green, and Rob Shield makes a good start. He's got the inside line as well for that first corner. On the outside is the black car of Mark Donnelly, who slots in behind, and then Morgan Bailey, who was very spectacular, very aggressive in the final yesterday. He drops to fourth behind Christian Hainsworth. Hainsworth took a best yet of third in the final yesterday. There's one having a spin in the background. Through goes Rob Maynard. He in turn has got Clive Latimer up behind him, so I think it might have been Morgan Bailey that was the loser in the pack there. Bailey sideways, costing himself dear. Hainsworth then does the joker. That drops him down the pack as Rob Maynard goes through with Clive Latimer tucked up behind him. Over the timing line, Rob Shield it is, leading the way. Mark Donnelly going with him, but is he going to be able to stay with him as they head over the line? Because the pace of Shield is so good, it's a brave man that would bet against him. Battles on for third. Intriguing little fight this you've got at the moment, because there Rob Maynard has got Clive Latimer tucked up behind, and somebody off in a big way there. That is Donnelly. He's hit the tyres very hard indeed, done quite a bit of damage to the front of the car, gets away with it amazingly and carries on. But that is the real opposition to Rob Shield, having self-destructed. Shield is on his own up front then, and he's just got to tick off the laps in this race now. He's virtually home and dry because everybody else is so far back he doesn't have to worry about them. Clive Latimer still hustling on in 1:02. You've got Morgan Bailey, remember, recovering after his lap one spin. So actually quite a few of them have either had their own dramas or been delayed because of the joker. There is Donnelly. He's ahead of Latimer, who gives him a tap in the tail, and Donnelly gets sideways. Latimer goes way wide as well. Where's he gone to, in fact? Is he still circulating? Morgan Bailey gets up past the pair of them. There is the magnetic car of Mark Donnelly that's attracted to other cars, other barriers, and somehow what's left of it battles on. If he stays in the top four, he'll be good to qualify. Always assuming the car is still holding together. There's Rob Maynard, keeping out of trouble, making his way up towards the line, chasing Rob Shield. So for the moment, he's second. I say for the moment because, of course, we've still got the joker to stagger through for everybody. The leaders go over the line. Mondello Park being used in the conventional direction. There's the cut through that brings you back onto the race circuit out of turns 1 and 2. The mobile one right-hander, the kink at turn 2, and then up 2, as it's called, the hole in the hedge. It's a sharp right. It's even sharper if you go for the joker lap there in the background. Christian Hainsworth across the loose strip, then to tarmac, and then to loose once again here through Irish Ferry's corner. There's a big squeal of tyres as the race leader hits the tarmac at Southside Motor Factors corner, and then up towards the timing line. It's a great idea, though, having an interchangeable rallycross circuit like this, and it's nice as well that the joker lap is in a different place, so it adds something different in each direction. The drivers enjoying themselves. It's an important weekend in the championship, a double-header, so 2 opportunities to score points. Yesterday we had a full day of drama. The teams have been really busy repairing cars overnight as well. So much for sampling the local brew. Forget that, many of them have been here until the wee small hours putting cars back together. Rob Shield, though, got away without any damage yesterday, and he's dominating up front at the moment. Christian Hainsworth chases on behind. These semi-finals, all important to sort out the grid for the main event, for the final itself. And the way that Rob Shield is going rather suggests that he could be on for 2 out of 2 this weekend. The fight's on for second place on the track. Look where you've got Christian Hainsworth just hanging on as the checkered flag is waved, as across the line, Hainsworth just keeps his nose in front. Semi-final one, won by Rob Shield, Christian Hainsworth second and Morgan Bailey third. It's Rob Maynard fourth, Mark Donnelly fifth, and Clive Latimer takes sixth. Semi-final 2 is about to get underway for the Swift Sport Suzukis. Simon Ovenden, who has been a double winner this year, is on pole position. With him is Chris Woolett, who won at Croft. And then Matt Maxted on the outside of row 1 as the lights go green, and we are racing. To Mobile 1, they turn, and Simon Overenden has the advantage up on the inside there. Matt Maxted gets elbowed out wide a little bit, falls to 3rd place as the leaders drop down towards the hole in the hedge. Chris Woolett 2nd. He was doing reasonably well in the final yesterday, led it briefly, but then got biffed aside by Morgan Bailey and had his own dramas and then slithered off the road into the tyre stack right at the very end. Here, however, he wants a good result in the semi-final, a good grid position for the final, and points from that as well. So Matt Maxted, who was with them early, has jokered, as you saw. He drops down in relation to the top 2 that come over the line now. Up towards the timing line, they will power out of that last right-hander. Of course, the road drops downhill there. Through Mobile 1. You go from tarmac to loose. Turn 2 is the kink, and then back to tarmac. Over the brow, stand on the brakes for the hole in the hedge. And if you're serving the joker lap, it's a tight right-hand hairpin, effectively. Chris Woolett then, working overtime, the former oval racer, hunting down Simon Overenden. Brother Tristan is having a good day in the Super Nationals with his V6 Clio. Can the Overenden family come out on top in 2 different categories come the end of the afternoon? '83, Matt Maxted. He served the joker, that brings him out into the traffic. So now he's trying to wriggle his way back into contention. Comes over the timing line, you can see the top 2 getting away up the road ahead. Don McLeod is ahead of him, there he is. A former RX 150 racer who's come full-time into the Swift Sports this year and he's going increasingly quickly. Locks up the rears, hangs on to it. Matt Maxted understeers out a little bit wide into all the dust. He's got Dominic Flitney behind him. But up front, Simon Overenden is looking unstoppable, isn't he? Down they come across the loose to tarmac once more. Chris Woolett needing a good grid position for that final. And there, look, Matt Maxted. We've not seen much of him this year within the Swift Sports, but he's gone well here. Chasing after Don McLeod now as they head towards the timing line once again. They work their way across the loose onto the tarmac here. This is the fight between Don McLeod and Matt Maxted. McLeod coming under huge pressure. Maxted right there behind him as he got the car speed to come through. Then nose to tail across the loose. Strip of tarmac, back to the loose now through Irish Ferry's corner. Up the road ahead is Simon Overenden. So where's Woolett gone to? Has he jokered? Let's see. There's Simon Overenden. And Woolett, in fact, is now the leader. It was Overenden that jokered, so Chris Woolett has the advantage for the moment. On to the final lap of the race. Simon Overenden goes through the dust, and Chris Woolett now tries to pull away, mindful of how the joker lap will work. He turns his way through what's become a hairpin onto the joker lap, and that surely is going to give the advantage back once again to the charging Simon Overenden. Overenden is on the loose. There's Don McLeod going through the joker as well. That's going to drop him a place, but it's being in the top 4 that is all important in this. The race leaders come across the loose, back to tarmac. Dominic Flitney is there, but it's going to be a win for Simon Overenden as he goes through to take the checkered flag. Chris Woolett will be 2nd, so that puts him as a qualifier, and 3rd looks like it's Maxted ahead of Flitney. Semi-final 2 for the Swift Sport Rallycross Championship, won by Simon Overenden from Chris Woolett. Matt Maxted 3rd, Dominic Flitney 4th. They will qualify, and Don McLeod just misses out. 6 laps of drama, the final 6 laps of the weekend. It's the last race for the Swift. The grid has Rob Shield on pole position. Simon Overenden is alongside him. Chris Woolett lines up on the outside of row 1, ahead of Christian Hainsworth and Morgan Bailey. Then it's Matt Maxted, Dominic Flitney and Rob Maynard. Engine notes rise, the lights go to green, and we are racing. From pole position, Rob Shield has the advantage, but can he hang on in there? Woolett tries to get up the inside. Morgan Bailey dives on the inside of Woolett, and I think possibly takes the advantage. And there Overenden gets into the back of Shield as they power towards the hole in the hedge. Overenden hits the brakes, the back tries to get away from him. Does anybody joker early? Yes, Morgan Bailey, by the look of it, was going for the joker lap. So it's 1-5-2, Rob Shield who leads the way. son of former British Rallycross champion Michael Shield. We've seen Rob race in Formula Ford, but now concentrating on a Rallycross career, because Rallycross is a sport that is really booming at the moment. The British Championship is going from strength to strength, and so too its support classes, and of course the World Championship grabbing the headlines too. The race leaders are nose to tail then as they come over the line. Rob Shield versus Simon Ovenden. They're becoming the top two within the Swift Sport Rallycross Championship. There is Chris Woolett keeping Dominic Flitney at bay. Woolett a winner at Croft at the start of the season. Matt Maxted is tucked up behind them now. Through the hole in the hedge they turn. Woolett jokers, Flitney delayed. Here comes Maxted up the inside. He's through, is he? Yes, gains the place. Matt Maxted up one spot for the race lead. They're absolutely together as they head back down to Southside Motor Factor's right-hander. To the timing line they come. It is Rob Shield leading the way. Simon Ovenden is right there behind him. The trouble is they're so evenly matched. Finding a gap is very difficult indeed. Across the loose they go. Up now towards the hairpin. To the inside. Looks Ovenden. Can't find a way through though. This time it's Ovenden that jokers. The gap will therefore increase between the two. But Rob Shield knows he's got to push and try and build a gap that he can maintain after the joker lap. There, look, Morgan Bailey right on the back of Ovenden. Now, Bailey jokered early on, so suddenly he's back in the mix, isn't he? He's right there on the tail of the second place driver. This might actually help Rob Shield a little, because if he can get away now while Simon Ovenden is defending, it's going to help his lap times and help that gap after he jokers. So Rob Shield leads. Through the dust goes the fight on track for third, although Bailey is wide, and ahead of them Maxted is wide as well. Simon Ovenden having to defend. That means he's going slower. That gives the advantage back to Rob Shield. And also look now, stuck in traffic is Simon Ovenden, because he's got Matt Maxted just up ahead of him. There's the race leader. There is Rob Shield, and it's looking good for him. Can he do a double in the Suzuki's here? To the timing line comes this battle pack for second place, and Ovenden being delayed here in real terms. Rob Shield, clear track space around him, driving his own race, whereas Ovenden has got to fight like crazy to get up and past Matt Maxted, who's doing a good job of defending. It's Morgan Bailey next in the queue as they break for the hole in the hedge. Now where is Rob Shield in all of this? Has he joked yet? He has, and he's losing the lead, and he's going to lose possibly the place to Ovenden. He goes a little bit wide. Ovenden gets up the inside. Shield defends. They touch. Ovenden biffed across the road there. Matt Maxted is ahead of them. Morgan Bailey around the outside of Simon Ovenden as well. So Rob Shield, aggressive stuff, has managed to maintain position over Ovenden, who loses out to Bailey as well. Rob Shield came within a whisker of losing out to Simon Ovenden there. They start the last lap, but in real terms it's Ovenden now that has dropped back. He falls behind Morgan Bailey. It was rather aggressive stuff that by Rob Shield. Can he score a victory? Ahead of him is Matt Maxted as they work their way through the hole in the hedge. Maxted now bails for the joker lap. That will drop him down the pack, and so Shield has a clear road in front of him. What can Bailey do, however? He's too far back, isn't he? Simon Ovenden is stuck in third place. He'll be furious about that contact. Shield moved across, the two touch. That let Bailey get the run on him, and so Rob Shield comes through for a second win of the season, a second win of the weekend. And it was a robust drive, wasn't it? Rob Shield will win. Morgan Bailey takes a second of the year, and Simon Ovenden finishing in third position. Confirmation of the results. Rob Shield wins from Simon Ovenden, but a 10-second penalty for Morgan Bailey for improper driving shuffles the results and gives third to Matt Maxted and fourth to Chris Woolett. Simon Ovenden then it is who leads the championship, only 7 points ahead now of Rob Shield, with Chris Woolett in third.